Good Wednesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I am your meteorologist, Justin Peterson, and let's go in and talk about the weather for your Wednesday evening going into your future. First off, as we always do on our nighttime chats and our nighttime updates, we've made it halfway through the week. Let's go and give a round of applause. So yes, we made it halfway through the week. That's fantastic. We're at Wednesday evening, and so now we only have Thursday and Friday left, and we will be done with the week. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, make sure that you go on and do so. We are at 583 subscribers. We're still 17 away from that main goal of 600. But if you go on and read the poll right now inside the chat, it's going back and forth. If you are inside of the live chat, the one that we do at 9 o'clock, go in and vote inside that poll right now, because I've seen it go back and forth for like the past minute or so. So that seems to be kind of competitive, which is what we like to see. But without further ado, let's go on and get started. Starting off, what's going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina? There is indeed no rainfall going on throughout the entire U.S. Again, no rainfall going on throughout the entire U.S. right now as we speak. If we look at what's going on throughout the entire U.S., I mean, we have rainfall going on from Florida, going up into Michigan, going over into Wisconsin, Oklahoma, parts of Missouri over here in the Four Corners region, and then look over here in the West, California, Nevada, Oregon, Idaho, Washington, Montana, Wyoming, Nebraska, South Dakota, getting in on some of that rainfall as well. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. Northeast looking good, Midwest looking good, even most of the Deep South looking good. Cloud cover right now, we do in fact have some low clouds going through like the PD region, also going inside of like the Grand Strand, maybe even some cloud cover going on inside of the Southern Midlands, getting in on some of that cloud cover. And if we go in and look at cloud cover even further into the future, you can see that cloud cover will build as we go into around like tomorrow morning, and that cloud cover will continue in the portions like the coastal regions for sure, but it will still stay in places like the Low Country, the Southern Midlands, the PD, Grand Strand. Those places will still receive cloud cover, and the upstate will as well, but for the most part, it won't be as heavy. Current temperatures right now seem to be around 73 in Columbia, 74 in Orangeburg, as well as 74 in Sumter, 74 in Orangeburg, and 74 in Somerville, 73 not Orangeburg, Georgetown, 74 in Murrells Inland, 73 in Myrtle Beach, 72 in Conway, and 73 inside of North Myrtle Beach. We also do have around 76 inside of Charleston, excuse me for that. 70 in Greenville, also around 69 in Greenville, 70 in Spartanburg, 69 in Gaffney and Rock Hill, as well as 72 in Clemson, 71 in Anderson. Now for your low temperatures around 58 in Anderson, 58 also inside of Greenville and Spartanburg, 58 in Rock Hill, 57 in Greenwood, Lawrence, Newberry, and 61 in Columbia, 59 in Aiken, and 60 in Barnwell, 62 in Orangeburg and Sumter, as well as 64 in Moncks Corner, 68 in Charleston, and 69 in Hilton Head Island, 64 in Georgetown, and 66 in Myrtle Beach. For your rainfall, no accumulation is expected over the next 24 hours. That does not mean that rainfall is not expected, but it does mean that if a shower does pop up, it's not really going to accumulate anything, and it will just be like a drizzle. Crazy score for tonight, we're at a 5. We're inside the no significant weather, clear skies, or light clouds is what we're looking at for tonight. And pretty much, I mean, you just saw the cloud cover earlier. Cloud cover was relatively light. We didn't see really anything too bad. For the SPC outlook for today, we do not have thunderstorms. We have no thunderstorms that are expected as we move into tonight. So that is a good thing. Same thing with tomorrow. No thunderstorms are expected. And same thing with Friday. Well, I do take that back. I just saw that region down there. Pretty much for central Charleston County, going into western Charleston County, going into coastal Colleton County, going into Beaufort as well. And Hilton Head Island is also included in there. Thunderstorms are possible along those coastal regions, but we kind of were already expecting the chance for more of a rainfall risk over the coastal regions. I've been talking about the coastal regions now for, I mean, however long we've been talking about the long-term future for around this time frame, about how the coastal regions would have to watch out for that coastal rainfall activity due to all that moisture going on inside of the Atlantic and just regular low pressures that are out there right now. So I've been talking about that for a hot minute now for the coastal regions, and now on Friday, thunderstorms are possible. No excessive rainfall is expected as we move through the next 5 days. That is from now all the way into Sunday. And so that's it for our excessive rainfall. Let's go in and look at the models. So we're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. You can see a little bit of a difference. Look at that. It looks like that we might have some rainfall as of this model run right here. If we even go to this one right now, this one doesn't say that any rainfall is expected, but even as you go to around 2 a.m. though, you can see it has some rainfall over here, like in the Southern Midlands, going into maybe even parts of kind of like just to the south of Columbia. But you're not seeing any accumulation from this. Again, we weren't seeing any accumulation on that map, and this one seems to show the same thing, like maybe like a stray shower, but it's looking just mostly just like a drizzle at this point. Even if you continue further into the future, I mean, you're seeing green spots pop up, but again, this is just relatively very light rainfall, and definitely something that you should not need all like your rain gear for. Even if you continue going further into the future, by around 10 a.m. it shows some rainfall pushing in, but it's not the heaviest at all. Not the heaviest at all. Now, what regions am I talking about? Mainly the Midlands. Let me go back to this one real quick. Parts of the Midlands, and then parts of even the Western PD region. Maybe the upstate, but that's kind of getting a bit lower. Same thing with the low country. It's there, but it would be like the very northern low country. So what about even further into the future? Well, it seems that high pressure you can see up there, it stays relatively over there inside of North Carolina, and you can see the coastal shower activity that's going on inside of North Carolina. But even as we get to around 7 p.m. on tomorrow, we have rainfall that starts off in the upstate, starts off in the low country, starts off in the PD/Grand Strand area. On tomorrow evening, even by 8 p.m., I mean, we have some very noticeable rainfall that will be occurring, especially inside of the low country and that Grand Strand area. And the upstate as well. Do not want to forget about the upstate as well. Now, if we continue late into the night, into early Friday morning, seems like that rainfall will mainly go away, and we might get back to our just dryness. But definitely you have to watch out for some rainfall tomorrow evening going into the nighttime hours potentially for those coastal regions and for the probably just for the low country and the Grand Strand area. Now, what about our long-term future? So obviously you can see the rainfall going on off our coast, and that will continue to move its way down. And like I said, we'll have another little dry period, but that still won't stop us from any rainfall or anything like that. There still will be rainfall. It just won't be widespread. It's not going to be like a whole storm system as a high pressure seems to take over again around like September 16th and the 17th again. And it stays there for a good little bit. Yes, like I said, rainfall will still occur, but it's not going to be anything bad. I am watching this, though, as we go more into around like that September 25th, 26th, and 27th time frame, as a potential cold front could be moving through during that time frame. If we go into the dew points, you can see the cold front moving through at the end of September. So it seems like, for the most part, we're going to continue to receive this warm air just as we go into the September 19th, September 20th time frame, but some cold air seems to want to try and dip in. This isn't necessarily a cold front. At least I don't believe it really is. I mean, even if I go in and look at the precipitation, that might actually be a cold front. Actually, now that I look at it, because I can see the low pressure up there inside of the mid-Atlantic, so that probably might be a cold front right here as well, but it's around like September 21st, going into around September 23rd, and then it just pushes down all of this cool air around September 24th, 25th, and then warm air kind of tries to take over a little bit more around like September 20th, 6-ish, but then once you get later into the day, it starts to get a bit more cooler. Now, this is 300 to 400 hours out, so this will change, but that's just what we have for now. But after that, little cold front, I mean, that's pretty much where it ends off as when the cold front is indeed passing us. So, cold front watch for sure as we move into the last part of September. What's going on inside the tropics? We obviously do have an area that we are watching for over here inside of the Atlantic, just to the west of Africa. Right now, this was just added at around 2 o'clock. It says Eastern and Central Tropical Atlantic. It says a tropical wave is forecast to emerge offshore of Western Africa in a couple of days. Environmental conditions could support some slow development of the system over the weekend into early next week as the wave moves to the west-northwest at around 15 miles per hour over the Eastern and the Central Tropical Atlantic. So there is a 0% chance, obviously, of this thing forming over the next 48 hours, but a 20% chance over the next 7 days. And so I say this every time, but obviously I'm going to still say it again. Will this hit South Carolina? We have no idea. Will this even form? We have no idea. We just had an area that we just saw had a 90% chance of forming. Guess what? It didn't form. So these percentages are here, obviously, because it is likely that it may form, or it may not be, or it's like very low that it will form. But at the end of the day, a percentage is just a percentage. It just tells you the percent chance of it happening. It won't tell you if it will happen. It just tells you the percent chance of it happening. And so at this point in time, it's just way too far out for us to say, will it form? Will it not form? We just don't know. And so that's it for the tropics. What's going on with our audience for tonight? If you want to be a part of the live audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Mr. Oliver says, good evening, delightful day at my house. The mallards stopped by for a visit, and I identified about 15 birds at the pond today. I'm really enjoying the weather. First off, good evening to you. I'm glad that it was a great day. Thanks so much for the pond update, and I'm glad that you are enjoying the weather. Now, especially as it's cooler. I mean, right now at my house, it is 67. My older one says 67. Let's see what my newer one says, because I like that one a bit better. It says around 68, so not too much of a difference, but 68. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mr. Chris says, hello, everyone from Monk's Corner. Hello to you. He also says, please remember to hit the like button and the subscribe button if not already. Also share with everyone you know. That's absolutely correct. We've had 14 people tune in and we only have 6 likes. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But if you are part of that, I believe, hold on, I don't know why in the world I can't math today. But if you are part of that 8 people that have not hit the like button, make sure that you go on and do so. Because it's free, you can change your mind at any time. Also, hit the subscribe button. Like you said, it's free. We're at 583, trying to get to 600. We are 17 away. Just 17. And that's it. Also, the share button as well. Share it with all the people that you know. It can be on any social media platform, or it can be with anybody that you know personally. Trail says, greetings, everyone. Greetings to you. Another lovely day here. That's great to hear. And that's all that we have inside the chat for tonight. Make sure that you go in and, like I said, vote inside this poll inside the chat. It was talking about a Q&A, so I do want to hear what you have to say. And by the way, before you answer, it's just a Q&A just about, weather questions and stuff, maybe about how I got into the weather and stuff like that. So it's not just random questions or anything like that. I mean, I guess if you want to ask a random question, as long as it is appropriate, I guess I would not mind answering, but I'll get to that more later. But for now, I want to talk about the 3 locations outside of South Carolina, that being Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then also Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why is because we have people from those locations who watch pretty much nightly, and these forecasts right here usually take like 3 minutes max, and that's it. So it does not take long at all. Starting off with Raleigh, you have low temperatures tonight at 62, high temperatures tomorrow at 80, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 62 as well. There is indeed a chance for rainfall, but it's like a patchy drizzle. Now, what does it mean by patchy drizzle? It just means that it's not going to be any accumulation, and it's really not going to be like a disturbance. It's gonna just be like that annoying drizzle, but it's not. It's like a 10% chance of rainfall, and that's pretty much what it is. Nothing really to get any rain gear out or anything like that for. Severe weather. There is no severe weather that is expected at this time. No severe weather that is expected at this time. Now, for excessive rainfall, there is indeed no excessive rainfall either. Now, what about Philadelphia? Low temperatures tonight at 60, high temperatures tomorrow at 80, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 60 as well. No precipitation is expected, no excessive rainfall is expected, and no severe weather is expected either. The final location being Duncan, Oklahoma, with low temperatures tonight at 64, high temperatures tomorrow at 93, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 67. There is no precipitation that is expected tonight or tomorrow, and no severe weather, no excessive rainfall. You're all good. What's going on throughout the entire U.S.? The stalled front will continue to bring additional heavy rainfall potential over the next few days across southern Florida, with localized and urban flooding possible. A strong Pacific storm will bring scattered showers and thunderstorms across the northern Great Basin and the Rockies and into the southwest through Saturday. Heavy rainfall will result in isolated flash flooding near those burn scars. Air quality alerts still out for Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, as well as they still have some air quality alerts advising people not to be outside for too long over there. Dense fog will occur inside of northeastern Minnesota as well as northern Wisconsin. And then red flag warnings for some fire concerns for eastern Nevada and western Utah. Everything else, though, is looking pretty quiet, though. Nothing else really that I'm seeing that's too bad right now. So let me go on real quick, first off, and check out the chat one more time. I don't see anything outside the chat that anyone has said. Top fans for tonight. Mr. Chris is at number 1, Trail is at number 2, and then Mr. Oliver is at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all. Now time for the poll. I said, should I do a Q&A at 600 subscribers? 60% says yes and 40% says no. So, the people have spoken. The people have voted. If you did not vote and you wanted no to win, well, unfortunately, you lost your chance because yes has won. So, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do that for 600. But I mean, we have to get to 600 first, though. We have to get to 600 first, though. So, if you... again, like I said, have not hit the subscribe button yet, make sure that you go on and do so with the share button, share with all the people that you know, because we won't do the Q&A until I get to 600. So, that will be a waiting game. But I'm going to figure out how I'm going to set that up for when it does occur. But I will be back tomorrow morning with your Thursday morning forecast update. Make sure that you're there. We're going to talk about the drought monitor tomorrow night. Make sure that you're there again. Drought monitor tomorrow night. So make sure you have your predictions ready. Also, the Hurricane Hugo anniversary, which I cannot believe because it felt like that we just did the Hurricane Hugo anniversary last year, is coming up. It's coming up not next week, but I believe the week after next week on Sunday. So it's coming up soon. We're going to have something for that. And then I think that is all. So I will be back again, like I said, tomorrow morning with your Thursday morning forecast update. Everyone have a fantastic rest of their Wednesday.